Resource quotas are a powerful mechanism in Kubernetes that allow cluster administrators to control and limit the total amount of resources that can be consumed within a namespace. Think of them as setting a budget for your teams or projects. Just like a household budget limits how much can be spent on different categories, resource quotas limit how much CPU, memory, storage, and even the number of objects like pods or services that can be created in a specific namespace. This ensures fair resource distribution across multiple teams and prevents any single namespace from exhausting cluster resources. Resource quotas are cluster-level constraints that administrators apply to namespaces. They control aggregate resource consumption across all pods running in that namespace. This means they look at the total, combined usage of all your workloads together, not just individual pods. Resource quotas prevent resource exhaustion and ensure fair allocation among different teams or applications. You can set maximum limits for various resources including CPU, memory, storage volumes, and even the count of Kubernetes objects like pods, services, configmaps, and secrets. When a quota is in place, Kubernetes continuously monitors and tracks the total usage to ensure it stays within the defined boundaries. A resource quota is defined using a standard Kubernetes YAML manifest. The API version is v1 and the kind is resource quota. In the metadata section, you specify a name for your quota and the namespace where it should be applied. The spec section contains a hard field, which is where you define the actual limits. For compute resources, you can set limits for requests.cpu, requests.memory, limits.cpu, and limits.memory. Requests represent the minimum guaranteed resources, while limits represent the maximum resources a workload can use. In this example, we're allowing a total of 10 CPU cores for requests, 20 GB of memory for requests, 20 CPU cores for limits, and 40 GB of memory for limits across all pods in the namespace. Resource quotas support three main categories of limits. First, compute resources, which include requests.cpu, requests.memory, limits.cpu, and limits.memory. These control the total CPU and memory that can be requested or limited across all pods. Second, storage resources, which include requests.storage for the total storage that can be requested, and persistent volume claims to limit the number of storage volumes. Third, object counts, which allow you to restrict the number of Kubernetes objects like pods, services, config maps, and secrets that can be created in the namespace. This prevents a namespace from creating an excessive number of objects that could impact cluster performance or management. Creating a resource quota is straightforward. First, you write a YAML file defining your quota. In this example, we're creating a quota named compute quota for a namespace called dev team. We're setting hard limits of 10 pods maximum, 4 CPU cores for total requests, and 8 GB of memory for total requests. Once you've saved this as a YAML file, let's say quota.yaml, you're ready to apply it to your cluster. This quota will immediately start tracking and enforcing resource usage in the dev team namespace, ensuring that the total resource consumption across all pods never exceeds these defined limits. After creating your resource quota YAML file, you apply it using the kubectl apply command with the -f flag followed by your file name, such as quota.yaml. Once applied, you can view detailed information about your quota using kubectl describe quota, specifying the quota name and namespace with the -n flag. This command shows you the current usage versus the hard limits for each resource. To list all resource quotas in a specific namespace, use kubectl get resource quota with the namespace flag. These commands are essential for monitoring quota usage and ensuring your teams stay within their allocated resource budgets. Regular monitoring helps you identify when quotas need adjustment based on actual workload demands. Resource quotas enforce limits through the Kubernetes admission controller. When someone tries to create or update a pod that would exceed the quota, the request is immediately rejected with an HTTP 403 forbidden error, and a clear message explains which constraint was violated. An important requirement is that when quotas are active for CPU or memory, Every pod must specify resource requests and limits. Without these specifications, the quota system will reject pod creation to maintain accurate tracking. Quotas track cumulative usage across all namespace resources in real time. When pods are deleted or terminated, the quota usage is automatically freed up, allowing new pods to be scheduled within the available quota space. This dynamic enforcement ensures consistent resource governance. When implementing resource quotas, follow these best practices for optimal results. First, set quotas based on your team size, historical usage patterns, and expected workload growth. Don't set them too restrictive or too generous. Second, monitor quota usage regularly using kubectl describe to understand actual consumption patterns and adjust quotas as needed. Third, combine resource quotas with limit ranges for comprehensive resource management. While quotas control namespace-level aggregates, limit ranges set constraints at the individual pod and container level, providing defense in depth. Finally, use separate namespaces with dedicated quotas for different teams or environments to achieve proper isolation and prevent one team's resource usage from impacting another. This multi-layered approach ensures efficient, fair, and predictable cluster resource utilization.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.